There are two tanks in World of, well, tanks that I've been on 90+% for years. Absolute years. One of them is the T29. The other one is the T37 Tier 6 light tank. T29, of course, Tier 7 heavy tank. So what is the reason that I suddenly decided now this is the time to get that third barrel star on this tank? Well, I was helping a friend grind the Oni. And my only Tier 7 heavy tank that I have in my garage is the T29. The T29 is, in my opinion, not a tank you just suddenly sell. I mean, it's not an important tank per se, but it's just a tank that's so powerful for Tier 7, but not overpowered like the T67 at Tier 5. The T29 is good if you know how to play it, if you find yourself in the correct position, if you find yourself playing against idiots sometimes. It's not E25 levels of overpowered, it's not, for example, Defender levels of overpowered. It's just a really, really solid all-around Tier 7 heavy tank. And the Americans do have that in their heavy tank line. I adored my T1 heavy while I hated the M6, which is the same tank, just a different gun. I adore my T29. I love my T32, and then I hated the M103, even though I really knew how to play it. And then the T125 became a thing when it was buffed all those years ago, and it became extremely overpowered. And then it got nerfed, and now no one plays it anymore. It kind of got replaced by the Mouse, the Type 5 Heavy, and to a degree now the Super Conqueror if you want that gun depression plus 400 alpha. Anyway, I am getting a bit too overconfident and die because of an SU-100.
We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night.
Hey,
Here,
thank you so much to
take the
Penis. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, Penis.
For once, I'd say that was a pretty good start to a marking video. Yes, I'm playing a tank I am extremely comfortable in. And it's a really good tank, and if you fire nothing but premium, this tank is actually fantastic. Fantastic, so that it should probably be nerfed a tiny bit, like probably something with the MacLeod being 200mm thick, if not more. Can't quite remember the full number of the MacLeod thickness, but together with that 10 degrees of gun depression, the fact that your cupola is extremely sloped, yeah, this tank is quite difficult to beat if it is hulled down. But that's the beauty of it. Only when it is hulled down is it actually really powerful. Because the hull armor kind of starts to fail when you have Tier 6 tanks shooting at it. Tier 5 tanks against Tier 5, the T29 is just... I feel bad for anyone that is in the Tier 5 playing against the T29. At Tier 6 you can finally start doing damage to it. At Tier 7 it can be outmatched if you find yourself in a bad position. And it's just good against Tier 8 and against Tier 9. You have to be in a good position. And you kind of need enemies that are willing to sit out in the open and just trade with you. And in this game, sadly enough, I don't have enemies that are willing to sit out in the open and trade with me. The IS-3A, which of course now is quite a scary tank, is using his cover quite well and is shooting enemies that are for him out in the open. It seems that I've got a team where the people are willing to sit out in the open. And that is pretty much bad news because we are not even 4 minutes into this game and we are down 11 tanks. 12 tanks. We've only killed 1, 2. Oh, thank God. At least it's not going to be a horrendous, you know, never mind. We're going to lose this game quite bad. And damage control, damage control, damage control. My ammo rack is gone. No more damage control. Just sit here and accept my imminent death. Fun times.
It's a tiger. It's very dead. Let's blow some air up its anus.
You know, sometimes shit happens and you get a team where 1/3 of the team does literally no damage. And sometimes you get the team where 2/3 of the team does less than 1,000 damage. But that was exceptional, where 6 people did 0 damage and 12 out of 15 did less than 1,000. I was top damage and you saw how terrible my game was. It happens, and the best thing you can do is hope for a better next game, and this is that game. I am bottom tier. I am bottom tier against an E75. That is most likely not something that you really want to deal with. However, like I said in that game earlier, sometimes you need enemies that are willing to sit out in the open and trade with you. This E75 is feeling confident. He's against the T29. I would be feeling confident. The problem is, he's playing against me. And I am motivated after last game to not suck out. I want to just do damage. I don't want to piss about and take 2 hours to actually get that 3rd star on my barrel. I'm firing premium. I'm playing against a guy that really kind of is having issues with angling effectively. Every time he pulls back, he drives over a bit of rubble, which raises the front of his tank, so his lower plate is more vulnerable to my premium. Now he is over angling his side so I can shoot him in the track and track him. He is switched over to premium. Not because he's having trouble killing me, because he is frustrated. He sees that I'm firing premium and that I'm penning every shot. I'm using the rubble to my advantage. I can use the gun depression. I can use the side of the rubble to hide my hole. And he is having trouble because all he has to do is turn right, make sure that his frontal track is visible and use the wall to his advantage, but he is not doing that. So I have completely destroyed this E75 pretty much on my own. The 45 TP, the Challenger is gonna get a shot. I am holding back pretty much 3 to 4 tanks on my own here. All I need is for my allies to just kill the rest of them and I'll handle what is in front of us. I'm going to put one more shot into the lower plate of that E75 and he has had enough. He doesn't want to poke anymore because he is on treacherously low health. We're going to kill the 45 TP and right now I am the one feeling confident. I am the one that's going to win this game. All I need to do is for someone to keep back that super Pershing on the minimap and then we can kill literally everything that's here in the middle. The M103 kills the E75. I only track the Challenger. The T44 now sees a shot that he can poke out and shoot me. That's a fantastic view. He was more than allowed to do that. But no one is stopping that super Pershing. He puts 1 shot into me, 2 shots into me. I can hide myself from the T44. But no one is stopping him from killing me. And sadly enough, even though at one point we were up 6 tanks, we still lose this game. As a tier 7, I was holding back too many tanks, and we still lose.
One more time.
Yeah, that's just like hooves and eyelids and anuses mashed up with some spice.
But at least I had a fantastic game myself, so that's motivating in my opinion. That really helps you with trying to continue. A44 just suddenly pops up behind us. I'm not quite sure how he got there so fast, but I think that he has a dream of dying really quickly. He gets tracked, he gets shot by me, he gets shot by everyone else. He dies faster than a snail covered in salt. We turn around and we find ourselves a couple of heavy tanks, the KV3, the OHO, and a little Jumbo is just chilling there, waiting for people like me to get spotted. And so I have no problem with shooting him instead. If he's just going to sit there, out in the open, what am I supposed to do? Cuddle him like a little kitten? Because he's not, he'll sting back. It's a kitten with claws, and the last thing you want is a kitten to crawl up your leg, because kittens don't really know how to retract their claws yet, so they just get stuck in your skin and you start bleeding profusely, and then you have to get all sorts of shots because usually kitten claws are dirty as all hell. That KV3 gets spotted with his side towards us and there's nothing I can do but put him out of his misery. And then, nothing. The OHO doesn't really want to poke anymore. The Jumbo doesn't really want to poke anymore, and the Churchill was out of my line of fire, so I make the decision to move up. Suddenly, the OHO wants to poke out again, the Churchill wants to show his side to me as well in a minute, which means that I will have no problem with doing damage. I am actually somewhat hull down here, and seeing as the hull is the weak part of this tank and the turret is the strong point, I am pretty happy to be in this position. Yes! It might look like I'm out in the open, but there is no artillery. People have to shoot straight at me, which means this wall next to me, blocking me from falling into the water, will help me protect me from them. The only reason I'm not moving up to get in their faces was because I wasn't sure what was in the middle that could potentially shoot me, and then I noticed where the Oni on my team is. So if the Oni can just sit here with his balls out, that means that I can move up and sit in the street without being shot in the side. Now, it's a bit difficult because these archers make sure that the Churchill can shoot me, but I cannot shoot him. He shoots my tracks and pens the shot, and I'm having none of that. I repair and kill his face. Now, a bit of an issue, because I don't want to just suddenly show my front. If I would have showed my front and who shot me and tracked me, I would have died. I would have not been able to repair my tracks because I already used my repair kit, so instead I was just kind of hoping that he'd shoot my track. The Oho pokes out and, well, misses his shot, and I kill the Oho instead. But it gets better because I move up, he tracks me again behind the wall, and this is a situation I've been in before. But here is where my evil brain comes up with an idea. I find myself the KV2, and if he's firing high explosive, I don't mind. He's not able to kill me anyway, but instead he is actually firing AP. And now I'm noticing that he is pushing me, and from behind is an Oho coming. So that means that if I can lure him around the corner, I can maybe get the kill. And I was actually feeling quite bad for doing that, but I wasn't going to get the kill anyway, because I just came up with that idea a bit too late. And after that, I don't get any more kills or damage because everyone's too far away.
Harder, better, faster, stronger.
One day I might try to get the mark on the T29 or maybe the Cromwell Berlin, but today is not that day. Today we celebrate T29.
I mean, what's so good about my life? All I do is eat, shit, sleep, play, piss, eat, shit, sleep, play, piss, repeat cycle.